Golly bum howdy, it is 85 degrees in October. What is going on? Anyway, howdy. My name is Sam. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm out here in the front yard going to tear some stuff up. Tomorrow is the next big day in this whole big thing of happenings for us around building a new house. Tomorrow the land grading guy is supposed to show up. Awesome. We've measured out this new house location and we are pretty sure it's going to extend farther beyond our existing home and get into the area of our gravel driveway. So I think I'm going to spend some time on the tractor and I want to see if I can scrape up some of this gravel in the hopes of saving it and moving it elsewhere versus letting it get taken away in the process of grading. I'm going to be using my Massey Ferguson tractor, see what we can do, and I don't know. Otherwise, bring you guys along, I guess, right? A lot of people want to see this whole process, and this is one thing I'm doing in preparation of him to show up tomorrow. So yeah, here we have the front of our house and a mini excavator sitting right where Angela's flower bed used to be. There's no more flowers here. Everything's gone. We've got a pile of dirt, and then over here to the right, a pile of landscape fabric, weed barrier cloth pulled up, and some old canna lilies that she didn't want to save. I mean, we can still salvage them, I guess, but she didn't seem very interested in those. Actually, hold up. Let me take you over here to show you where we put them. So we were trying to find a place to put them out of the way, not have to move them twice, and think, okay, if we never transplant these again, a place we're okay with them forever being. So over here near our garden, which is an absolute jungle, by the way. A couple of people asked for garden updates. There's a reason we don't show them, but you'll see it here in the background. Maybe I'll show you. Anyway, I took the Mini X over here and I graded off all this grass, the sod, and the organic matter to create a long strip of dirt that we then planted these guys into. So walking over this way, I'll kind of let you see the house, get a sense of the area where you are. We have this pine tree here. We actually brought this from our North Carolina house because Elijah really liked it. It's lived, so we transplanted it again. Maybe it'll live again. It's amazing it's still living. I don't know what kind of pine tree this is. It does not grow fast. It's probably about 7 to 8 years old right there. But hey, it's got sentimental value for him, and why not? We've got the space. Let's plant a tree. Down here from the pine tree is, I believe, the oak leaf hydrangea. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know flowers very well. But it is pretty much at the end of the season for this guy. So hopefully we moved it at an okay time and it will live. From there we have 3 peony bushes, or peony bushes. It's a flower bush, I guess. There's this one, it looks pretty good. This one's looking a little bit rougher. And then this one down here looks terrible to me. I think they're still gonna be fine because the root balls and everything are still intact. Either way, it's one of those scenarios where we either try to transplant and save them and hope they live, or we just bulldoze them over and bury them and know they never will live. All right, here's a look at our garden. Good luck finding it. I believe there are 8 to 10 metal raised beds somewhere in there. Oh, there's one peeking out there at the left. But this is what happens when people get busy and we just forget about it. So terrible, right? An embarrassment. But also this is the reason we don't really do garden videos, or haven't this year, because this has been our garden. That's enough of Sam the non-gardener talking about stuff he doesn't really know. I think what I'm going to try first is taking the bucket of the tractor and kind of back blading it or back scraping it and trying to make myself a gravel mohawk pile in the middle of the driveway. Then I'll come around towards the lengthwise and try and scoop it up with a bucket. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but that's kind of what's in my head to try first, so that's what I'll do. Well, I guess that kind of worked. Honestly, I mean, you're probably screaming at the camera right now if you know, I need a box blade. I need a box blade. Does Sam go on a random shopping trip? Gotta ask Angela. The scary thing is she would be on board. She is just as much of a tool head as I am, especially if it is to be used in the beautification of the property and her new house. But for now, let me go ahead and continue with my plan, right? It's either awesome or it's terrible, but let's go ahead and continue with it. Let me get the bucket, scoop this stuff up, and I want to move it from this location of the driveway over to this one. Underneath all this grass, we actually have a turnaround driveway, a big loop. And when we are going to be living in our RV, once we move out of that guy, until the new one's done, we're probably going to want a little extra gravel over there. So, might as well take it over there and drop it somewhere, I guess. I've robbed, or rather reclaimed, as much gravel as I can, and I've dumped it over here. Now I'm going to smooth this with the tractor bucket as best as I can. Probably mostly going back, calling back blade, but I don't know. Let's see if I can do it and not make a huge mess, or more importantly, hit my truck with the rotary cutter that's on the back. Let's keep that in mind. Well, that went okay, all things considered, and with the tools at my disposal, pretty good. We have a lot more rock on this driveway than I remember, but as I kept digging, I kept remembering. We did some very large ballast stone when we first did this driveway, and then over the course of, I think it's been almost 4 years we've lived here, we kept adding stone pretty much every winter. It's not perfect, but it's at least some bit of our rock reclaimed. Stone. Gravel? Stone. Anyway, it's at least moved to another area, and back there where the truck is and the camper and all that, it is now wide enough for a vehicle to be parked and another vehicle to pass it without going off the rocks. That is important because we are in about middle of October right now, and Tennessee in the wintertime becomes the season where you don't get off the rocks. What is normally soil, dirt, or ground turns into mud, bog town, and will eat your vehicles. So it's nice that we now have extra gravel over there where we're going to be parking and driving a lot while we're living in the RV, but also when the new house is here, we think our driveway may continue to curve that way, and then we park behind it. We think. We're not entirely sure yet because we don't really know how the house is going to sit and look and feel because it's not here yet. This is enough playing in the gravel. What I want to do next is get out some marking spray paint that Angela picked up for me, and I want to mark on the ground where our water line is and where our septic line is. Now, septic line, you're probably wondering what's the deal with that one. We have a pump system, which means we have a regular septic tank at our house. We have a secondary tank that the effluent gets pumped into, and then at that point, when it's full, there's a float valve down in there. It pumps the liquid gold, or liquid not gold, whatever, pumps it from a tank right about here where my thumb is, up the field and towards that way, towards the road. That was a whole big ordeal, which we have videos on if you want to dig around a little while on our channel. But it was one of those things where the state said, look, if you want your house where you want your house, you got to do a pump system. Otherwise, stick your house 30 feet off the road. And we were not going to do that. Regardless, what I want to do is mark where I'm pretty sure they are installed so that when the grader gets here tomorrow, he can at least have a rough idea of where things are. All right, Angela, give us a wave. Down there where she is where we know the T of our water line is, because it tees off, goes to the house, the workshop, and then gardens and all that stuff. And where I'm standing, way up here, is where I know the water line is, right here. Gosh, where are my toes at? There they are. So what we need to do is roughly paint a straight line from me to her. Let me move upwind so I don't paint my legs too. Otherwise, we'll do the hunch walk. How's that look? That's probably about as straight as I'd put in the ground, isn't it? You know, they sell this thing that you can buy. Would have been nice to have it. Now, Angela likes to see me walk like a crab or something. Paint your toes. I think I went curvy on that one. Eh.
That one looks like your straighter one.
Wow. Take that. I think it would be easier just to roll. Yeah, close enough, right? Good enough for state work. I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't too much fun. But necessary, right? Anyway, that's enough for the water line. It is marked, especially where the house site will be. Now we're gonna take our orange paint and we're gonna mark our septic stuff as best as we can. So where Angela's holding the camera is where I'm going to. And being able to look up every step, I think is giving me a better result. If nothing else, it's harder to see a crooked dotted line than a solid. Well, I took a break inside for a while because it was getting kind of toasty and I thought I was done, but then I got to look at it again as it just came out and I'm like, you know what? You can do better because you have micro machined the excavator. So I talked myself into trying to get some more gravel off of this spot. I don't know if you can tell it very well on camera, but I think that will tell you how much I got. Now, this is junk. I'm not going to put this on our driveway because this is rock and dirt and grass and absolutely nothing you want to put on your driveway. If you put dirt or any kind of soil on your gravel driveway, it doesn't wash away. It stays there forever. So this is going to get hauled over to a little, like, well, I say little, it's actually big. It's a big ditch area between our solar panels. So this is just going to get dumped over there. So let's go ahead and get the tractor back out as if it wasn't sitting right there. And let's get this pile moved. Well, I guess I'm to my stopping point. The daylight is starting to go away. Sunset is what most people call it. But hey, I still was able to get everything done. I have the majority of the gravel or rock taken out of this area. We also have our water line marked and our septic pipe marked. And I think we're pretty much good enough, right? Hopefully the guy does show up tomorrow. The last thing I heard was today around lunchtime that he was planning on coming out as long as he could coordinate with some delivery of dirt to help build the crown of the pad and that kind of stuff, I guess. So it may be tomorrow, or it may be not, but that's okay. If you're here from the future, look down below. There's a link to the playlist that'll show you this whole new house build, and you can watch it there. Or if you're following real time, sit tight, because it'll come out really quick as far as the video. I'm trying to produce these as fast as they're happening, or at least within reason, and not keep you guys waiting too long on stuff. Otherwise, thanks for watching as always. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I say us. Was Angela in this video? She's in the background. Whether she talked or not, I don't remember. Either way, see you on the next one, I guess.